What is up, Babylonians? The last video about the patch notes was getting a little bit too long, around about the half-an-hour mark, give or take. So I've decided to do this as a second video for you to watch. So you've got the balancing video in the last one, and this one is going to be more about what's changing and some improvements that are coming in. So first of all, quality of life changes, new feature, what we've all been asking for. Item locking, so implemented the item locking functionality, improve the quick mark functionality now to also include legendary, apocalypse, epic, and apocalypse legendaries rarities, and change the behavior of camera when sprinting to make the sprint behavior between toggle and hard sprint consistent. The camera will no longer turn when players are sprinting. So what does this mean? Well, it means you're not going to delete your items as often as possible, as long as you lock them. So you lock your favorites, and you can just go ahead and delete everything that you don't like without any worry of accidentally deleting that one item that you've always wanted to keep. You're also going to be able to quick mark all of the legendaries, apocalypse legendaries and epics all in once and delete them all if you want to. And as I said, the camera change, that's just a bit self-explanatory. Just make the camera that little bit better for you. And the end game changes. So Apocalypse tier grind, we have mentioned it in the last video, but starting from Apocalypse 20, the requirement to level each Apocalypse tier is being reduced by 10%. So you'll be able to level up a little bit quicker. It's still going to be a bit of a grind, but it's definitely an improvement. Crafting costs reduced and resource gains increased. So you're going to be able to, I believe they said you can use two, so per Apocalypse level you can level up 2 bits of armor or 2 sets of armor completely in that time, so you don't have to hoard all of your resources. You can just go and upgrade what you're using. Generally speaking, you're probably not going to try more than a couple of different builds out, and you probably have an idea in mind what you want to use in the long term at the moment as well. So you're going to have an increase of loot dropped and a decrease of resources required when it comes to actually upgrading that armor. Now, a quick sponsored message. If you don't have enough time, nerves, or any good teammates, but you still want to have all of the cool weapons, armor, and mods, we suggest you visit this website, www.deving.net. They boost in Destiny 2, The Division 2, and many others. Leveling, expeditions, custom streamer builds, and guns with high rolls, and so on. You can choose what you need. The boost works with account sharing and self-play, so they do everything for you without cheats or bug abuse. We have tested this service in the past ourselves, and we can recommend you these guys. They can be trusted. This site has been working for many years, and it's got a lot of client reviews and payment methods. You can check this yourself, and with the code Babylon, you'll have a 15% discount on all their services. If you didn't get it or you have any questions, then feel free to contact an operator. Apocalypse gear drop rates has increased as well, so you will get an increased chance for Apocalypse variant gear increased on each Apocalypse tier that you do go up. Expeditions, the rewards have been increased to make them feel more viable alongside Terra Gratar. Loot gain per X time investment should now feel quite similar between Expeditions and Terra Gratar. Players should now receive a greater amount of epic and legendary items and comparatively fewer rare items in Expeditions. Anomaly extract farming should now also feel much more viable to do in Expeditions. Bug fixes fix the bug that allowed players to miss a PAX point if they transitioned out of the fisherman fight. To quickly fix the bug that prevented characters transferring to worldslayer content from obtaining. Fix the bug that prevented characters transferring to worldslayer from obtaining their first ascension point. Fix the bug that could prevent co-op players from leveling up, even if they had acquired all required experience, but the party had been wiped out during combat. And fix the bug that caused players' health to improperly calculate if they leveled up immediately after dying. The correct value would display if they died again. Bug fixes, skills and nodes. So fix the bug that caused twisted rounds and volcanic rounds and blighted rounds to be blocked while firing any one-shot weapon. Fixed a bug that prevented mods, minefield and legendary minefield from triggering more than once per enemy. Fixed a bug that prevented the Devastator Pax node's finishing touch and Earthen Shell from properly working after the player transitioned from a no weapons area. Fixed the bug with the Technomancer, prevented them from activating Pain Launcher if they were too close to covers or walls. Fixed the bug that prevented Technomancers from cycling between camera sides when using the Tools of Destruction minigun. Fixed the bug that caused the stat screen of Technomancers to display abnormal results whilst the Tool of Destruction skill was active. For the Trickster, they fixed the bug that prevented Tricksters hunt the prey from activating if enemies were using cover. Fixed the bug that would cause it to lock up if they used an enemy who had died at the same time. Fixed the bug that would cause Tricksters to get stuck in geometry on certain levels when using hunt the prey. Fixed the bug that would cause Trickster's twisted round skill to remain active indefinitely if a player was staggered during the reload animation. Fixed the bug that was causing the Venator's Knife skill to deal inconsistent damage when used in combination with certain mods. And fixed the bug that caused Time Rift mod weightlessness to end prematurely. And the gear fixes, so fixed the bug that prevented Technomancer's Grim Inventor set from triggering consistently in combination with a Pain Launcher if there was only one rocket remaining in the RPG. Fixed the bug that was causing status power provided by items to be multiplied instead of decreased as players increase their Apocalypse tiers. This could unintentionally lead to increases as high as 700% status power at Apocalypse tier 40. Fixed the bug that prevented the Mycologist set from behaving properly in the transmog menus. Fixed a bug that allowed the game to drop a headgear item called Wraith's Mask, for which there is no transmog design. Bug fixes for the mods. So fixed a bug that caused Shock and Awe mod to trigger more often than intended. Fixed a bug that caused the Relativity Theorem mod to inconsistently refresh and in some cases even extend cooldowns. Fixed a bug that caused the Untamed Power mod to skip the cooldown for the Trickster's Hunt the Prey skill. Fixed a bug that prevented the Pyromancer mod Ember Shields from triggering more than one stack if the player had a skill node Master or Resistance active. Fixed a bug that prevented the Tricksters and another one, Armor mod, to not function for killing shots. Fixed a bug that prevented the Devastator Reflect Bullets mod Equator from working in relation to melee enemies. Fixed the bug that prevented the Concussive Force mod from increasing the damage dealt by the Devastator's Chip Off the Old Block mod effect. Fixed the bug that caused Self-Medication mod to fully restore players' health every time it triggered. And implemented changes to the Death Ray mod visual effects, so the mod effect is not overly bright in certain areas. And then onto the enemy bug fixes. So fix the bug that would cause enemies from being properly affected or by not animating and despawning properly when hit with either Devastator's Impale and Earthquake, Pyromancer's Feed the Flames and Overheat, or Technomancer's Cold Snap and Cryo Turret skill while the enemy was affected by the Phoenix Aura effect. Fix the bug that caused Skirmisher Wallers to appear on the Trial of Terra Gratar's score screen multiple times. Fix the bug that caused the Arbiter to be locked in a melee attack loop if the player targeted them with Hunt the Prey skill at a certain moment. Fix the bug that allowed players to interrupt adherent enemies' abilities with regular weapon shots. Fix the bug that allowed players to enter cover when affected by the Executioner's Chain Lock ability. Improve consistency of the Shadow Beast's melee attack in relation to the claw's visual effects. Fix the bug that was causing co-op players to momentarily be held back if hit by Forest Strix projectile. Fix the bug that allowed Vanquisher enemies to rotate while executing the Suppressive Fire skill. Fix the bug that caused the Snow Behemoths to become idle if their Rock Plower skill was avoided by Devastators using the Gravity Leap skill. Fix the bug that could cause enemies to be stuck in an animation loop by players using Concentration Blast mod or Pyromancers using the Overheat skill. Fix the bug that prevented the Crawler on the Cliffside Path arena from moving away from its spawn location. Fix multiple bugs that prevented melee enemies from reaching players in certain locations, and multiple improvements to make the VFX of enemy abilities more consistently timed with their effects. Finally, the bug fixes general. Fix the bug that reset auto loot filter settings after returning to gameplay from the lobby. Fix the bug that caused Worldslayer and Apocalypse gear to appear in Tiago's rotation for players who had not upgraded to Worldslayer. Fix the bug that caused client players to see an incorrect number of retries remaining for the Trial of Terra Gratar when exiting the lobby and using continue. Fixed a bug that was causing the armor worn by other players to jitter and jump in multiplayer. Resolved clipping issues. Resolved issues related to camera movements during cutscenes. Implemented multiple improvements and resolutions for issues related to light and shadow. Improvements to certain areas where FPS drops were observed. Multiple bug fixes related to audio and sound effects not playing or ending properly. Multiple improvements to geometry, collision and placement of enemies or items. Multiple bug fixes related to quest progression blockers. Various other minor bug fixes, and finally, crash fixes. So that's it for the update. That is, we'll be here with you as you are watching this today, hopefully. So there's quite a lot of changes in there. So as you've seen in the two videos by now, hopefully you've watched the first one first and this one second. Let us know what you think. Is there a good enough improvement to the armor sets and whatnot? So there's obviously been some, I guess you could call them nerfs to certain items, but they have tried to compensate for that in other areas. So fingers crossed that keeps us all happy and we still deal the damage that we're doing now, or something very similar, and still have a lot of fun. Well, thanks for watching. So as always, keep yourself safe, keep yourself well, and we'll see you in the next video.